What up? Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. Heavy rotation style. Trying to get back into it, get back into the rhythm of it. Got a lot of cool records to show y'all. Start off with some mega grails. Probably the biggest and most significant grail I've gotten is this Rascal right here. This Christopher, What You Gonna Do? This is mega rare. This is up there with my Fraction Moon Blood and my DR Hooker and all that stuff. So this is a acid rock band from South Carolina. The band formed at University of South Carolina in like the mid to late 60s. They like toured like crazy, went all over the place, played any gig they could get. They won Battle of the Bands in Columbia, South Carolina. They went to Myrtle Beach and they played at the Pavilion and all this stuff, which I grew up going to the Pavilion, so that's pretty cool. The Pavilion's gone now. But anyways, and so they were successful for a college band. They ended up going to Charlotte to record at Arthur Smith Studio, which there's a lot of killer stuff that got recorded at Arthur Smith Studio. I always check the labels and see, and like there's a lot of really cool like private press stuff. There's a lot of gospel and country and stuff that's not good, but there's a lot of like killer private press stuff that was recorded there. And then so like when Arthur Smith Studio shut down, they just threw all the tapes in the dumpster. And so like I know some people went dumpster diving and pulled some out, but this tape's gone. So anyways, all that to say, there's been reissues of it, but they only made 100 copies of this just to like send out as demos so they could get gigs. So it's incredibly, incredibly rare, but you can listen to it online, all this stuff. And if you follow my Instagram page at Find This Record, I did sound clips and all this stuff. So but this is a killer, just mega, mega rare, like acid rock band. Now that's this Christopher. And I've shown this record before, but I thought I'd show it again. A lot of people think it's the same band as this. It's not. Two different Christophers, okay? This Christopher is from Texas, and also very, very, very good. Just trying to see if that's just a white hair. I'm getting a lot of white hairs in my beard, guys. But yeah, that's a different Christopher. Amazing acid Psych. But it's Texas Psych, and this is not quite as rare, not nearly as rare as the other one. So another rare psychedelic rock for you is Magic Ship. This one's really cool. It's got a killer cover of Neil Young's Down by the River. This is a killer record, but it's got some really good fuzz guitar leads in it. Kind of a banger from start to finish. But Magic Ship is really killer. You probably hear the piano. My son, he is 9 now, and we got a piano. So we had one a couple houses ago, and he was kind of young, and he would noodle on it, but didn't care much. And we just got this piano in hopes that we can kind of, I talked about it before, he has autism. And so we try to find things that will spark his brain in interesting ways. And he's just like totally gravitated to the piano. He loves it. So, when I was a kid, my parents are amazing people, and I love them with all my heart. But when the piano would get played on and banged on, they would be like, "Cut that racket out!" Like if you couldn't play it, But I kind of see it as, how are you going to learn to play it if you don't fiddle with it a little bit? So I don't say nothing. I try to just build up a tolerance. And if the piano's like incessant and driving me nuts, I don't say nothing. If we're watching TV and he starts playing the piano, I will stop the TV and let him play the piano, because that TV show, whatever we're watching, is not important, but him figuring out music is. So there's an unsolicited parenting tip for you. Skull Snaps. This is a killer one that I just got. This is a white label promo. Super, super rare funk joint. It's a New Day is a song on here that's been sampled over 500 times by all these different hip hop artists and stuff, and so it's well known for that, but it's also just a killer funk record. It was recorded in New Jersey. These dudes that were really kind of cryptic and secretive about their identity. You would not think this was a funk record. You'd think it was some sort of heavy metal or something just by the cover. But they went in and hit every song. Everything is in one track. They just boom, 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 recorded it, knocked it out. So it kind of speaks volumes to how tight the band must have been to be able to knock every single track out just with one take. So, and the record is just seriously perfect. Like, it sounds amazing. So they had to have been tight. Got a few from Needle and Groove Records up north. They posted some things on the Instagram account. I was like, what kind of stuff you got on your wall? And they started sending me pictures. I was like, dang it. So I got like a bunch of records from them. But this is one. This is J.J. Johnson with Hank Mobley, Horace Silver. Yeah, it's a deep groove, OG, Blue Note. Amazing stuff. Been working on my Blue Note catalog, as you guys know. Got a bunch of stuff. I'm just going through like no, just total random order. Got some African records, you guys know. I'm prone to that type of thing. Mighty Flame, Sweet Love. This is great. This RTS label, there's a lot of killer stuff on it, but Mighty Flame's really good at like African funk stuff. That's not African. All right, next one is Fela Kuti. It's Not Possible. It's really kind of a rare one. It says He Miswrote on here, but that's what the label says. It's Not Possible. So, but anyways, this is kind of a rare Fela Kuti one. I've got a couple other Felas here. This is another one, Stalemate, on that Aphrodisia label. Killer. If you don't know Fela Kuti, he put out like so many records, but just some like Afrobeat, kind of sax driven Afrobeat funk. It's killer stuff. But this one's called No Bread. Like all the covers are just like the original Nigerian covers are so cool. I mean, just look at that. There's so much going on. The artwork is just amazing on them. Love Fela. This one's Aphrodisiac. And like this is, you say this is terrible shape. It's not. This is great shape for, I've said that a million times. Any more Fela? No. All right, so a few more. This one's called Apple. This is it's called Apples. I did not even previously know this record, but a friend of mine was selling some stuff, and like with African stuff, that's kind of how it is for me. It's funny, it says on the label in English, so they know. but I listened to it before I bought it on YouTube, and it was really good, like African funk type stuff. But like with African stuff, like there's so much. And then, like, some of it, I just don't have any idea what it is, and I'll listen to it and decide kind of if I want it, if it comes up for sale. Elvis, Macko, and the Apostles. This is, anything with the Apostles on it is killer, but this is a really rare record. I don't even think there's a rip of this online, so I got to rip it and put it up. But anything with the Apostles, I don't have to listen to it. I know it's good. So, but yeah, this is a really rare one, really cool. And I'll be ripping that and put it out on my YouTube channel, my Find This Record YouTube channel, which I've been kind of not doing. But anyways, this one's the Blo Phase 4. Blo is like a killer African funk band, great stuff. But anyways, on the Aphrodisia label, these are always completely trashed because, Africa. And this is a really clean copy, so just really tough to find. But I'm going to be doing more on my Find This Record YouTube channel, just like ripping and putting albums up. I've been kind of just been so busy the past few months with Christmas and everything. Like the months leading up to Christmas, I'm like frantically trying to get the shop ready because we get slammed. And then like the months after Christmas, I'm like frantically trying to fill the hole that Christmas built, because like the shelves start thinning out right after Christmas, and so, which is really good for all the locals because I'm like putting out tons of fresh stuff. And so anyways, it's a good problem to have. This one's called Wind Force. This is an Australian. I've had this for a while. I've probably had this for 6 months or more. But this is an Australian like space rock album, I guess you'd call it. I don't even know what you'd call it, like proggy space rock. It's 1981. It's called Wind Force. And I just ripped this and put it on my my Find This Record YouTube channel last night. So it's really good. Really, it's just a really interesting, unique, very rare record. but it's just one of those. It's hard to even put into words. You gotta listen to it. This one's called Steve Drake, Cold Sweat. So this is like a private press. This is another one I got from Needle and Groove. Private press, like folk rock. So there's some good guitar solos, all that stuff. I heard about this record maybe a few years ago. Really weird story I'm about to tell you. When I was a kid and I started playing guitar, my dad was trying to kind of steer me away from playing like terrible rock and roll music, you know. And I've told you many stories about his efforts. But one of his efforts was, there's this fella at church named Steve Drake. And it wasn't this guy. It was a different guy. But his name was Steve Drake. And he was the coolest guy to me. Which really, he probably wasn't. He's probably just like some regular dude. But he had a Les Paul that was just like really nice. It was really sweet. And my dad, like, he was in the band at church. They just like started getting guitars and stuff in the band. Like, because the church was like super traditional. Anyways, and so he's like, I want to introduce you to Steve. He's a really nice guy. And like, he was such a cool guy, but he had long sideburns, and he was probably like in his 30s at the time. And I met him, and he was like so patient with me. And I'm like 14, 15 at this time. But he taught me blues. He taught me how to play blues. Taught me all the blues scales. I remember him sitting and like showing me all this stuff that, like, I mean, he was doing it for free, just doing it to be nice. And taught me, like, I remember like one time he brought me to this barbecue where his band was playing at, and it was not Christian music, you know, and it wasn't bad, but I know we were playing like Hendrix songs and like, you know, blues stuff. It was a blues rock band, you know, and he was letting me sit in, let me play like rhythm. And so like halfway through one of the songs, it was Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. He like scoots over to me, he's like, okay, at the end of this like measure, we're gonna let you solo. And I was like, what's a measure? What are you talking about? What do you do? And he's like, and I was like, I don't know how to play guitar solo. He's like, remember the scales that I'm teaching you, and just go for it. The only way to do it is just jump and see what happens. And like it stops, and like the other guy that was singing stopped, and then it was just rhythm. And he looked at me, he's like, and everyone's kind of looking at me like, and I just started playing a scale, like, and it happened. Like it like clicked in that moment. It was like sink or swim moment when it was just at a barbecue and no one cared. But to me, it was a major moment to where like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, oh, this is how you turn a scale into a thing, you know? And so I kind of started learning how to improvise after that. But actually, what's really cool is I have a video of that. I can't remember where it's at. It's on my hard drive somewhere. I'll have to pull it out. But I have a video of it. And I've got like this hair that's coming down like this. Like, it's like almost like a bowl cut, but a little bit more grown out. And I'm wearing a BB King shirt. And I'm playing Ibanez. I'm just ripping a solo terribly. But it happened. That's the important thing, is that it happened. This is really cool. Billy Strings, the Relics session. So Relics is like a magazine. I didn't know much about it until this came out. But you guys know Billy Strings. Amazing. But he released 500 of these. And from my recollection, you could only buy them at one of his shows, which was at the Relics. They have like a venue. So he did this in like 2019 or 2020 was when this show happened. And then they put it on vinyl. And then this year when he came back to Relics to do the Relic session or whatever, I think, I might be butchering this, but there was one show that you could buy these at, and that was it. And there was only 500 copies. And I was like, dang it. And it was like up north somewhere. I knew I couldn't make it. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to buy this record, whatever. So then like right after the show, look on eBay, Discogs, they're $400 to $500. You know, and I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm going to be able to buy one of these now. Whatever. It's just 4 songs, so it's whatever. And then they ended up having just a few extra that they put on his website. They sold out in 30 seconds. And I mean to tell you, I got one. And I'm stoked about it. But it's just a live Billy Strings. Really cool stuff. It's a story-heavy episode of Find This, or freaking, what is this called? Heavy Rotation. But I feel like, you know, I was thinking about today, I was like, you know, what do people want on YouTube? You know, because I just want to make y'all happy. I want to, when I'm going through YouTube and I'm like looking for videos to watch, I can never find anything I want to watch, you know. But the ones I like the most or people just sitting and talking about records who know what they're talking about. So I just want to be that for y'all. But like all these catchy videos, like top whatever, you know, I do that to draw people in, you know, people that don't normally watch. But the people that normally watch my videos, like the people that are subscribed, this is the type of thing they like to see. But anyways, this, I should have shown this earlier because this is a mega grail. This is called Mew, M-U, or maybe it's called Mew. Mew. This is a promo copy. Excellent psychedelic rock record. I have been wanting this record for at least 10 years. Back in the day, before I ever started a channel, there was a channel, he still does videos. It was Hog's Ear Report. Hog like a pig, Hog's Ear Report. The guy's name's Ron. And I love his videos. And he still does videos every once in a while, but he used to do them all the time. And like when I was just getting into Psych, I was watching his videos like crazy, and he was showing like a lot of really cool stuff. And anyways, so this is one of the records that he showed. I ended up getting a reissue of it because it was just one of those things I was like, I'll never freaking find one of those records. They're so rare. And a good buddy of mine, Alex Rodriguez, he runs Record Safari. He's like a record store in LA. And there's a documentary about him and all this stuff. Really nice guy. But anyways, he sold me this record. He called me and asked me if I wanted it. He's like, I got this in the shop. Do you need it? And I was like, yes, I do. So thank you, man. He knows like the Psych records, the rare ones. You gotta ask me. This is a really cool bootleg, Pink Floyd at Kent State University, 1973. Look at the splatter on that Rascal. This was kind of an expensive one, but limited to 400. You know, it sounds great though. Really good sounding bootleg. I'm a huge Pink Floyd bootleg collector, so there's that. And I got this Zeppelin bootleg, which is just nasty. It's called Malcolm Salam, which I'm not really sure why it's called that. Malcolm Salam. It's live in Alabama. You know, with a name like that, you wouldn't think it's live in Alabama, but it is. It's a double LP. Really high quality. Very well done. Really cool Zeppelin piece there, but piece. I said piece. Listen, sometimes I say things I don't like, but when people say like, I don't want to say this. This is controversial, but a lot of record stores will say, we just bought a 2,000 piece collection. Like, what the F does that mean? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be controversial, but I hate when people say that. I don't know why. It drives. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Like, why don't you say I bought 2,000 records? You gotta say 2,000 piece collection. Like that. Does that mean piece? Like how many pieces? Was there 2 pieces to a double LP? Are you talking about some CDs too? Are you talking about tapes? Is it just trying to sound fancy? Like, I don't know. That shouldn't get on my nerves, but it does. And also, like when people say content, like I'm making some content, I freaking hate that. Like it's like glorify that you're making a video. Like just say you're making a video. I'm making some online content. Like I joke with my wife. I'm like, hey, I got to go make some content, and that means I got to go poop. You know, anything's content. Poop is content to a toilet. Anyways, I'm trying to rant today. Limp Bizkit, $3 bill, y'all. I like this record. Sue me. But this is a bootleg, but it is a bootleg of, this is a good record. This Limp Bizkit record, it was the first I really listened to Limp Bizkit, back in the 90s and early 2000s. I had friends that listened to Limp Bizkit, but I wasn't really into it. And then like Jeremy at the shop, he was like, you should listen to Limp Bizkit's first record. It's kind of good. And I was like, get out of here. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of good. Because, you know, you hear Limp Bizkit made fun of all the time, just like Creed, whatever. I was like, I'll give it a shot. And I listened to it, and I was like, and I know that he sounds like this when he raps, but I still kind of like it. You know, it's heavy. But speaking of Jeremy, I just did a podcast with him. Back in the day, I stopped doing it like right when COVID hit, but I did a podcast called Vinyl Biography, and I haven't done an episode since COVID. So it's been like almost 3 years, 2 years, something like that. But it's coming back. I really like podcasts, and I like having a podcast, and I like getting people on there and talking. So Jeremy, his new album's coming out with his band $1,000 Movie. It's coming out next month, and so I had him on the podcast for the first time. We've had a guest on there, so I'm really excited because I've asked a few other people to be on it. Some really good guests, and they've all said yes. So now that, like, before then, when I was asking people like if they wanted to be on my podcast, I had like 1,000 subscribers, so no one like would do it. It's a weird thing, like when you have podcasts or when you ask people to come on your podcast, they look through your social media and see if you're worth their time, pretty much. And so, like, now that I have more followers, I can get more people on. Holy crap! A couple of Grails right here towards the end. Soul Expedition. This is an amazing record, and I haven't shown it yet. Well, I did show it in my Top 20 Funk video. Just got this, been looking for it. It's a nasty, nasty funk record out of Atlanta. Just go online and listen to this. Soul Expedition. These dudes, if you haven't watched my Top 20 Funk records that'll blow your mind or whatever, sorry, go watch that video. I put a lot of time and effort in it. Nobody's watching it. So it's funny how, like, I did top 20 rock albums that'll blow your mind, or top 20 obscure rock albums that'll blow your mind, and it's up to 200,000 views, right? So I'm like, I'll do funk, and it'll be great. Did funk, I can't break 10,000 on it. So it's like, I put just as much time and effort into it, but there's just, like, if you say rock, you know, you got all these people rushing to go see it. But funk, which is just as good, it's just not, it's not as popular, whatever. But I'm telling you, this record, this is one of the rarest records on my collection, and it is fire all the way through. But these guys, they started playing gospel music. They played in a church. There was this pastor in Atlanta that started bankrolling them, paying for their records, bought them a tour bus, all this stuff. So these guys would teach music in the church, teach kids how to play music and stuff. And then this pastor would just bankroll them to do whatever. So they were playing at churches on the weekends and Sundays and stuff, and then they were playing at nightclubs and stuff like at night. So really cool band. And then this one's called Space Arc. I bought this one online. I got it for a really good deal. I've never seen one with this stencil cover like that, but it's got all the inserts and everything. The collection this came from a bunch of promos and stuff like that. So if you guys know Carolina Soul, they do auctions. Anybody who's ever bought any rare record online knows about Carolina Soul. They do great eBay auctions, but they get these collections in that they do on like consignment and stuff. And this was one of them. The Skull Snaps I got from them, and then this one was another one. But that collection was like a ton of promos, something really rare, like some music executive or something. And so it being from that, even though it was this just plain white cover with this, it intrigued me, so I bought it. And I got it for a really good price, a lot less than originals normally go for. There's two different variations of this record. One has like a full cover, and it's like this crazy space funk cover. And then one has a sticker right here that says Space Arc, and it's got like the band in cartoon on it. But this one is the same label and everything like that. It's an original, but it just is on a blank sleeve with that. So there's not another copy that's ever popped up like this. So I don't know what the deal is, but it's really cool. This is a nasty funk record, a space funk. Really cool. So I'm going to show y'all a few more just like newer stuff that I've been discovering. What I like to do when I'm looking for new music is I'll just go through a label and see kind of what's on the label. If I find something I really like on a label, some labels like will just issue random stuff, like all different types of genres. And some are really specific. So one that's really specific is, you got Riding Easy Records, which is like really heavy doom stoner rock type stuff. And I'm actually doing like some exclusives with them this year. I've done exclusives with them in the past. Really good folks. Daniel Hall's a good buddy of mine. He's been on the podcast. But anyways, and so, but I recently dove deep into Heavy Psych Sounds, which is a similar vein label out in Italy. And it's like heavy stoner hard rock stuff. So this one's one. This is probably my favorite discovery lately. This is called Kachimira. And this is amazing. Look at the color wax on here. It's they do all these like limited editions, whatever. But this band Kachimira, it's like wah-wah funk guitar solo, not funk, but fuzz guitar solo. Really, really killer you got to listen to this. It's amazing. It's Kachimira, Kachimira. They have another record too that's really good. And so a lot of stuff I'd never heard of before, so they're recent discoveries for me. I've heard of Nebula, but I hadn't listened to them very much. This one's really killer. What's this one called? This one's called Transmissions from Mothership Earth. This is kind of one of their newer ones. I'll show you the wax on this one. It's pretty gnarly too, I think. It's a but Nebula is like heavy metal prog is killer. This is another one, heavy. It's called Heavy Psych, Nebula, and this one I played on my Whatnot live stream this week, and everybody loved it. If you guys, I've been talking about Whatnot. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I started doing this live stream sales on Whatnot. I'm not trying to promote myself or anything like that. But if you get an account and you just watch the video, watch the live streams, it's a lot of fun. I'm auctioning stuff off as I'm playing records. And so like on YouTube, I can't really play the records because I get my videos get pulled down. But I play records that I recommend and sell them as I go. So after we listen to it, I sell it. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to put the description, the links and everything in the description of this video. Sign up under my link. You get a free $15 towards your next purchase, for your first purchase, whatever. But it's a lot of fun, even if you don't buy anything. I'm recommending music, letting you hear it and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. This is another one called The Lords of Altamont. They were around like 2007, 10, something like that. And they did some records, and then I guess they got signed to Heavy Psych Sounds, and they reissued all their stuff. But this is To Hell with the Lords of Altamont. Really cool, like biker, heavy metal, stoner rock. I don't know. And then another one, Sonic Flower. Along that same vein, really killer stuff. Let's see what the wax looks like. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. But anyways, great stuff. But check out Heavy Psych Sounds, and all those records are really killer. So anyways, thanks for watching and listening to my stories, making me feel special and warm and fuzzy inside. Love y'all so much. And we'll see you next time.